Hey there, welcome to the Luz the Mirror channel. Last week I did a one-off reading, which is about like the week ahead and all that stuff, and I kind of enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was nice to speak to one person. I mean, I talked about multiple stories, so I don't know. We'll see what comes up here. Maybe I'll just do just what's coming in the week ahead and go from there. This is a timeless reading, so it's the week ahead from when you're watching it. If you're watching it in present day, hallelujah, how are you? But this could be something that maybe last week's resonated, maybe last week's upload, the previous upload before this one, perhaps that resonated with you better than, or in addition to, whatever, you know what I mean? But if you're watching this in real time, it could be that, maybe this aligns with you as well. And if you're not and you found this video, then that's even better because you found a random video that called out to you. What is going on this week? We're gonna use the tarot this time, see what she has to say. I was telling the we'll do this. Yeah. I was telling the other, like the previous recording last week. I don't know how to say that when it's timeless. Like the last time I did this, I was telling the people that usually when I read tarot, it gets very spiritual and not so much about things on the ground. So we'll see how this transpires here. If you're new, hi, welcome. I take jumpers, so that's like all I take. I just don't trust the other way, you know? We have the Six of Cups opening the reading, which is really beautiful. And then we have the Nine of Cups on the side that I'm not so friendly with, but that's fine. We'll see what the message is. Can you even see these? Beautiful cards. I don't know. We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. We have a Tower in the reverse. We have the Justice. The Six of Wands in reverse. And we have the Hierophant. Oh. Whew. Okay. The week ahead. I feel like there might be something that you I always say this, something that you wanted. A reconnection with somebody that you wanted that may have felt really good. This could very well be romantic. This could very well be romantic, especially with this Nine of Cups here. Something that maybe for some of you, you manifested and bullied into existence. You know what I mean? Or this is something that you engineered into existence. Like you did your strength, like you used your might and your will to make this happen. This sort of reunion or connection with somebody to make it happen because it was something that maybe you thought would be good for you. Yeah, I think you did with the Tower here. I feel like you make something happen in the coming week or in the coming days that is about reconnecting, or reconnection gives you something that feels good. With the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Tower in reverse, I feel like you have a soft week, even just with the Six of Cups opening the reading. Like, I feel like you have a soft week. You have a bit of an emotional week. A week where you're in a forgiving state. Dare I say it? Like, you're kind of in a forgiving state. Does that make sense? You're kind of in a forgiving state. I feel like you might also be watching some people living their life, and it makes you feel thankful for what you have in yours, because maybe how they're living is adorable to you, or maybe just sad. It could be adorable to you, but dude, I'm gonna clarify this dude because he just always creeps me out. Clarify the Nine of Cups. King of Pentacles, of course. Every single major sort of energy here, we have the Queen, the Tower, the Justice, the Hierophant, all these sort of people, and yeah, all these people are all showing us their backsides. And even at the top of the deck, there was the King of Cups, and he was showing us his backside. Right? On this side, you see their faces. You see the people. You see the King. You see the Justice. You see the Hierophant. You see the Queen. And it's just really interesting. Truly a point to look into why everyone is showing up on their backside. And the only face that we're really seeing is this creepy man's face. Have you ever seen this creepy man? I don't know if this will even do him justice. Look at that. Like, that's a villain. That's a villain. I just can't. I don't like it. I don't like it. Creeps me out. But let me read you his description in the book, because that just does not convey what this motherfucker conveys to me, okay? A duke in a gorgeous array admires his exquisite golden chalices. Each one is a masterpiece, and the collection has taken time to acquire, which makes it all the more precious to him. All of his earthly possessions have been chosen with love, not greed. He pursues that which makes him happiest rather than that which will make him richer. Beauty and the pleasure that beauty brings to others fills his heart with joy. Because his quest is blissful, bliss is what he finds. When you get this side in a reading, as opposed to this angelic, awesome side, okay? When you get this side in the reading, this is known as the wishing card. It is a sign that you will get what you wish for. And yes, you need to be careful. More importantly, don't squander your wish. What will bring the greatest, deepest happiness to you over the long run? Not just fleeting pleasure, but joy after joy your whole life long. What is that? I just don't buy it. Yeah, I don't buy it. But, okay. Regardless, there's something here about someone watching someone else, because even here, this other merchant or whomever is looking at these two kids, these two young lovers. So this really could do with some connection. For some of you, someone from your past could be coming back. I know people are so tired of hearing that. Could be coming around, something that you have wanted. Or an opportunity to make a love match with someone who might meet you in a certain, who might feel familiar. So that's somebody who might meet you in a certain way. Someone who matches your energy. So what is your energy right now? And meeting someone who matches that, is that something that you want? But this is in the week ahead, right? Like, this is what could be happening this week. So we're just looking at this. I feel like you do see something that makes you remember something or click something into place over how you want your future romantic life to be, or how you wish it can be for you. And there's something about that softness that settles into your heart, maybe that yearning that is a yearning that is more appreciative than lacking, that makes you feel like, oh, okay, great, I can get a King of Pentacles. I can get somebody who, or, you know, an earth sign comes towards you. If you're dealing with an earth sign, maybe a baby, they come towards you or something like that. Or maybe you're an earth sign. But yeah, there's just something here about somebody who is full, either coming your way, or someone who's full, who has everything. Like they said, this is the wish card, everything. Who is looking at some interaction that perhaps you and someone else are having. If this is a person, this is somebody who knows how to take care of themselves. And by that, I mean, not just they smell good, they look good. This is somebody who knows how to prioritize their own well-being. So yeah, they look out for themselves. They try not to overstress themselves. They try not to overwork themselves. And they have a fulfillment in their life. With the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Tower, again, coming back to this thing, I just feel like the Queen of Swords in reverse has a sense of softness. The Queen of Swords in reverse in this energy is usually, again, Queen of Swords has a reputation of being an ice queen. That's my homie though. But we're seeing the inner selves of all these sort of huge icons. So there's really this softness that is in this coming week or the coming days. And it is off-putting to see the Tower and the Six of Wands in reverse together here. It's almost like at what cost, right? Like this is a victory, but at what cost? We lost so many people. But with the Tower, it almost feels like, I know I'm jumping around. There's just so much energy here. I probably shouldn't have pulled so many cards. It feels like this coming week has an avoidance. There's an avoidance of something that could have been worse. And you might see that, oh wow, had I stayed in that situation, something could have been worse for me. But this feels reminiscatory. Like this feels like the past, not what's coming. This feels like what came before. This feels like there was something that happened that did not go very well, and the pain is still there. It still has an undercurrent in your life, and this week is no different. That stuff is still there. That missing victory is still there. That missing success is still there in your energy in terms of like your, maybe even your feeling state, or in how you move. You still move with that energy of defeat. And so I'm not sure if perhaps you get the mental thought of, you know what, maybe it could have been much worse, you know, like it was bad, it was really bad. But perhaps this week you have a moment where you go, it maybe could have been much worse. The Queen of Swords is very strong on the inside, and she's been through some shit, and if this isn't some shit, I don't know what is. But I feel like there's an understanding, and even here I go, an overstanding of what she's been through, to look at her experiences compassionately. And if you're a dude, same thing. You're tapping into that energy of being able to look at your inner Queen of Swords softly at your stuff that you've been through. Maybe even showing yourself some grace this week, or just some maybe you hear someone say something of what they've been through and you go, wow, how could they still smile or be happy or whatever, and you kind of, it softens you up. It could be meeting a friend for some of you. It doesn't have to be a lover, or maybe you do catch up with a lover and you're like, oh shit, like you've been through all this, and it's a really nice connection moment where you sort of exchange pleasantries and maybe vulnerabilities. I feel like you bring up the vulnerabilities. You open and say, like, you know, I've been through this, or this and this has happened, and that initiates a certain kind of something. Yeah, this is so beautiful. It says the crystals on the back here, they hold her memories, right? They're crystallized. She ain't gonna forget, baby. In last week's reading, we were talking about forgiving and forgetting. And in this, she will hold a grudge until amends are made, all right? But she will also remember a favor, right? And pay her debt. So she is just. I really feel like, even though this looks like this week, or the coming week, or the coming days, there really are some, like, I always say this, come to Jesus moments where I'm not going to say you're finding peace completely in a situation. I feel like you're also reminiscing over a situation that didn't really work out as well as you would have liked it to. But maybe you yourself are a little bit more stable now. You may not be, you know, at the top of your game, but you might be in a place where you're more stable. This week might be, for some of you, a week plagued with memories of the past, memories of what you came from, what you used to have. But I feel like you're again looking at them with this softness, this not fondness, but just kind of appreciating maybe what you've been through with the Justice here and the Hierophant, how you've grown, how you're looking at some type of reflection. And either this is an interaction with people and you're catching up and you're saying, wow, and someone maybe shows you this about yourself, but you're also looking at yourself through the eyes of another, or through your own eyes, but through your higher self's eyes, and going, wow, like I've really been through it. I've been through hell and back, and I did it, you know. This is very unsavory. This sucks. This Tower in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. There's really some hard, I don't even think the battles were won. It's one of those things where, like, did you really win, you know? In the week ahead, there could be a wedding. Getting to the brass tacks, there could be a wedding that you're attending, perhaps a proposal. You hear about someone's proposal, someone is getting married. So that's kind of fun. Someone is maybe having a baby. We don't see the Empress here, but we do see the Hierophant. And that's a change in order, a familial order. Someone could be getting promoted as well, which is nice. You might have a conversation with a friend or someone in your life that makes you see them differently. You almost see their soft side, or yeah, you're open to that perhaps. You might watch something, be something motivational that sort of changes a bit of your perspective of how you want to be this week as well. If you're waiting for a court judgment with the judgment, excuse me, and the Nine of Cups next to each other, you win. I think there's something here that you feel vindicated for as well. Something that didn't happen the way you wanted it to, something that may have devastated you in the past, or something that maybe doesn't feel good for you this week. Maybe you have to give up, maybe you have to acquiesce, maybe you have to, maybe there's a merger of a company, maybe your role has been replaced by something else, maybe some type of downgrade in your week ahead. With the Justice here, I just always really think the Justice is like it's fair. There's something that might be unfair for you, but there's something about it that is, yes, it is legal for them to do that. Yes, it is maybe from their perspective okay for them to have done that. And it may feel unjust to you for now, but in the grand scheme of things, in heavenly divine order, maybe that it's actually for your benefit this week, that you lost, or that things did not work out, that you were ready to fight for something and you weren't even given the opportunity to fight for it. However that falls for you this week. Yeah, I think there might be some unfair situation that's coming your way. I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna move away from saying it's good or not. It's a weekly reading, so we'll see what the guidance says on that. But with this back of the Justice isn't looking, and with this sort of not working out, so there might be something that just really doesn't work out in the way that in your favor this week coming ahead, but you do still get something that you want that's kind of, again, sly. So just be careful on how you act this week, or how some people act this week. If you have an opportunity to do something that isn't legal or okay or right, take a hot breath before you try to go for something. Think thoroughly about what you're doing. Don't make too many emotional decisions on this one just because you think that something might get you closer to what you want. clarify the Tower. Oh, the Hierophant. And yeah, even with the Hierophant, there's just something there in line with this corner of something that might be able to be avoided. So don't get caught up in some craziness. Because there might be an opportunity for some craziness, and just don't get caught up in that. You might want to challenge and rebel certain things, but think carefully before you act this week. Let's clarify the Tower in reverse. You always gotta. The Lovers in reverse. Making a different choice, I think. Making a different choice, reconsidering something. Clarify the Hierophant. The Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, don't go with the crowd. If just because the crowd is doing something shady, don't do the shady thing, because you never know who's watching and how it might come to play in the future. But we're gonna get your guidance. With the Lovers here, this is really interesting that it's in the front. At least the front facing as opposed to the back facing. I'm very much noticing what's happening behind, you know, and not in the front. So something might come to light and you don't want to have been caught up in anything. If that's not the case, again, I've mentioned so many things. Some things might resonate for you in your week or not. It's so interesting that the Lovers and the Six of Cups are here. With and the Chariot, I love this dichotomy of I love this imagery of two entities. With the Lovers in reverse, I feel like something is breaking. Something might break this week, or you might see something that just wasn't going to work out again. That sort of repeats story. Tell me about the Six of Wands. Something being let go with the Four of Pentacles. Something being let go that has been stubborn. That's been there for too long. What else is happening this week? Eight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. All right, so we have somebody who's finally facing us, and the Emperor at the top of the deck who's finally facing us, but her eyes are closed. Oh, her eyes are closed, so she's looking within. She's allowing her energy to move her forward, or to move her anyway. So when we have the child side of the Eight of Cups, it's still the Eight of Cups. It is asking you to take a step back. We do have two imageries of children this week with the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups. But looking at the story as sort of a separate entity, as a separate one rather, this is encouraging you, or not encouraging you, this week, something that might happen is there could be a person that withdraws from you. This could be someone who is very passionate, someone who is a doer, someone who goes after what they want, she, he, they, whatever it could be. Someone who is pretty introspective and maybe they speak their mind, maybe not. A fiery personality perhaps, or someone who bides their time for when they launch their fire. Could be someone attractive. They could have dark skin just because it's wands, or darker skin. They don't have to. Olive skin tone, they don't have to. Tanned, they don't have to. Maybe they have red hair or blonde hair, strawberry blonde. They really do not have to. I would take those previous characteristics than actual physical stuff. But these two in tandem are really telling me a message that this coming week, it's about, there's something else here that you have to look at about getting some distance from your circumstances, and maybe also going within and questioning yourself to see, just to see more clearly, to assess whatever situations are happening in your world. Her eyes are closed, so she's looking within to see, okay, what's my part in this? This is not about you taking all of the blame. It's just about or even assigning blame necessarily. It's just about seeing like your side of the road and making the best decisions from looking at things in a more rounded perspective. So there is something about decisions here this week. Let's get into your guidance. This went on kind of long. Sorry. I'm trying to find more like earthly meanings to the tarot because I know it's there. So there could be a woman that walks away from some kind of dynamic with you. It could be a man as well, just a person that walks away from some kind of dynamic. It could be somebody that you know in your life who is trying to really take some decisions, trying to not make an emotional decision, but also still, honor themselves and their world. Doesn't have to be you. Someone who really wants to make choices that make sense for them and the kind of life that they want to live, knowing full well that there will be sacrifices on that journey, and them trying to maybe get themselves to the point of making those sacrifices. Again, I went high. I went spiritual on that one. What else? Yeah, the Queen of Wands is someone who knows how to make things happen, and she's having a meditative moment right now. This is someone who is someone who, it's a queen, so she's not going to completely disregard emotion, but she's going to use emotion as opposed to having her emotion use her. She's going to move in a way that makes sense, and she's making some tough decisions here on how to move forward. What's the guidance for this week and all these energies that sort of popped up? Is that too big of a question, Spirit? What's the guidance to have a good week for the highest good and highest good of all? For the person watching this right now, what do they need to hear? I thought so. There's so many stories here that came up. Like this, it's just not fair to ask for one card. Again, we have making a choice, right? We talked about making a choice. So you get to make the choice. The Queen of Wands is making a choice. This guy is making the Lovers. And this kind of rhetoric was coming up. So there's going to be some type of choice that you have to make this week, or will be in the realm of making this week. Follow the leader in reverse. I think this is about, and talisman, this is the choices that you make this week ought to be based on the kind of future that you want for yourself, not just the short term. Follow the leader sometimes in the reverse is about highlighting a little bit about you taking the lead on a certain project, and talisman here definitely supports that as well, on taking initiative in certain areas of your life. With the magic prayer in reverse, it also talks about not forcing anything, taking initiative but not forcing anything. And solitude in reverse talks about going out, actually getting out of your bubble. And there's something here for sure. With that queen and just all of this whole reading, that you're hesitant to move. You're really hesitant to, this week there's a hesitancy there to move. Perhaps you don't know what right decision to make if this is more of an ethereal spiritual reading and not like a practical one. But I mean, it does come down to practical. But I feel like you're getting to a point where you will have to make a choice that's going to be for your benefit. It's a choice that is going to have some sacrifices. And for some of you, it could literally, I was talking about weight loss in the other video, and so I'll talk about it here as well. If the decision is about really cutting out and making a commitment to your body and making sure that you're doing things that serve it, then that's, you have to, there's sacrifices that you're making there. You're sacrificing sugar, you're sacrificing carbs, you're sacrificing, the ability to just move and do whatever it is that you want to do. Now you're actually having to be intentional about what you put in your body and when you put it in your body and how much of it you put in your body. With the magic prayer, this is really interesting. I feel like there's some type of rebellion here that you've been experiencing or might be experiencing this week. And the magic prayer is Just kind of saying that the more you push on something, like, you can take the lead, and go out, but it's almost like taper yourself. Don't go too hard, too fast, too soon, right? Like, don't bulldoze yourself or the other players in your life into submitting or following you necessarily. It's don't believe that your way is the only way. So as you expose yourself to others, as you make different choices, as you move in the way that you want to move, there might be some advice, there might be some guidance, or just, I don't know, maybe you're working in a team at work. Like, your way may not always be the only way. I think that's an aside. that's something else. But also it could just be like complacency. If you've been complacent, this coming week could be showing you that there's been maybe some complacency in certain areas of your life. The guidance here is for you to not be so complacent. In your thinking, in your actions, in your inactions, whatever that thing may be. So just sort of have Spirit help you out as you navigate these journeys. I wish you were everything. Interesting. A very interesting reading. What? You're building a future, man. You're building a good future. You just have to make sure that you're laying the groundwork within yourself, because as you move, that groundwork that you have within you is going to be the thing that's guiding you through that journey. And if that foundation isn't checked, check it. I'm not trying to be threatening. I know I sound threatening, but just with the Emperor here at the top of the deck on the Four of Swords right beneath him, just make sure that you're checking on your star player and making sure that your values and what you say you want and the kind of dynamics that you want for yourself are actually what you're upholding, or if, so I don't really know if that related to your guidance here, but for like what was showing up for the week, but that's what I got. So that's for you, my friend. I hope that this served you. I wish you everything. Keep your light on. Good luck. Bye-bye.